Hi everybody and welcome to Push Your Luck video number 25. My name is Eric and today we'll be looking at a 2013 release from Spielworxx called Kohle and Kolonie. This is designed by Thomas Spitzer, who also brought you Ruscherfahrt 1769 to 1890. That is the game title and that was released in 2012. So in Kohle and Kolonie, players are like mining companies, and they'll be trying to buy mines, manage their mines in Germany. All right, and then through a series of rounds, 5 rounds, there'll be some form of consolidations. Mines will be consolidated into a big mine, and players are trying to manage all these things, trying to manage their miners, trying to build settlements, trying to benefit from points, and whoever has the most points at the end of 5 rounds will win the game. This is quite a bear to go through. The rules are not the easiest thing, especially if you just got it straight from the box. There are some typos here, there's some FAQs here, but to the good people on Board Game Geek, they have already had an unofficial rewritten rules which you should get and download and read, because it has all the rules changes, all the corrections, and there's also a correction. One of the mine number 13 has a printing error, so you need to get the corrected ones from Spielworxx. So this Kohle and Kolonie plays 3 to 5 and takes about two hours or so. I think your first game will probably take about 3 hours, especially because you need to go through the rules. But hopefully this video will help you to explain the rules easier to your fellow players and for you to understand how to play the game. So let's go through the rules, and I'll keep it short and sweet and try to be as concise and as simple as I can. Alright, let's go through the rules. So this is the board of Kohle and Kolonie. Now you will see the board is based on a section of Germany, and it's divided into many regions. Each of these region will have specific mines, as well as what are the bigger mines they consolidate into. You will also be able to see railway tracks and railway stations, as well as villages. And that's where all the grey cubes, which are workers, will be at. So the game of Kohle and Kolonie lasts 5 rounds. In every round, there's a whole series of actions and phases in a round that you need to take. Usually, players will take bonuses, then they'll do one action. First action, all players will do one action. Then after, all players will do a second action. Then all players can do a bonus action if they have the bonus chit. Then there'll be a mining disaster phase, as well as the coal trust, which is like a AI or the bot itself. Right? The game itself will buy mines. Then after that, players will score income from mines. Players will then score points based on their mines and settlements on the board. Right? And then there will be a consolidation phase, but this will only happen in rounds 3 to 5. Then subsequently, players will get income or points from their tableau. And that will be the end of one round. So you repeat this for 5 rounds. Then at the end of the last round, there will be some more endgame scoring, and whoever has the most points will win the game. So let's take a look at the board and the various different sections. Now, take note, if you're playing the 3-player game, the orange section will not be in play. Right? For more specific rules on what you need to do for 3 players, please check the rules. At the start of the game, the rules will be from the box is actually quite chunky and not very intuitive. So I would recommend you to get the unofficial rewritten rules from Board Game Geek and download it and use that as a gauge, because it also contains clarifications and certain misprints and so on and so forth that has been consolidated by the friendly people on Board Game Geek. So how do you play the game? We'll go through each of the phases of a round, which will better explain how to play the game, and you'll hopefully be able to understand the game better. So first, the first one, getting bonuses. So each player will be getting one of 7 bonus tiles, all right, that are available for players to get. So at the start of the game, there will be 6 cheats out of the 7 available. The one cheat that's not available is the cheat that allows you to perform the buy Steam engine action. I'll explain that later why it's not available. So 6 available. The starting player will choose one of the bonus chits that they want, they'll take their fat wooden round token and then put it at the slot where they've just taken the bonus chit that they want. Right? And in this way, each of the other players will do the same, take a bonus and put their token onto that spot. Then once all players have done so, shift their tokens upwards onto the turn order one, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That will determine the turn order for this round. All the remaining bonuses, shift them to the left, all right, and so you have all the gaps on the right hand side of this particular area on the board. So what happens now? Whenever someone uses their bonus chit, they will place it back onto this track. Right, in this way, the new sequence of bonus chits will be available, and when a new round begins, the next round, players will again choose a bonus chit and then do the same. They'll take the wooden token and put it onto the chit. Right, but in subsequent rounds, who will choose first? The player who went last in the previous round will be the first to choose. So the sequence will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last player will choose, then second last player will choose, and so on and so forth will choose a bonus, and you do this again for the next round. So what are these bonus chits for? The first one is mining disaster prevention. So it will protect 2 of your mines from mining disaster. The next one, each of the rest will actually allow you to perform one of the player actions that you can normally perform during the action phase. However, it's just to give you an extra action that you can do during your action. So instead of 2 actions per round, you could possibly perform 3 using these chits, right? Not only that, they also state the price that you need to do to perform the task. For example, later on, one of the actions that you can do is to hire engineer for 1 coin, right? Or you can put in a village. Build a settlement on the board for 2 coins. But subsequently, whenever someone has upgraded a technology, which the pit hit tiles, they will cause the rest of the players to increase in price, which means the engineer will now cost 2 coins. Placing a settlement will now cost 3 coins. So by taking these bonus chits and then using it later during a round, you are ensuring that you'll be paying the original price at the start of the game, and you'll be performing the extra action. So at the start, some of these chits will not make much sense. They will not give you much benefit, except the extra action. Subsequently, in subsequent rounds, when players start to flip their pit hit tiles, make things more expensive, then these will come into handy because they will limit the price that you have to pay. Right? So these are the different tiles available. The special one would be this particular bonus chit, which will either give you 1 coin, right, $1, or count as 2 coins when you're doing consolidation. I'll explain consolidation later. That will make more sense later. The other chit that bonus chit that's not an action itself is this one, which will count as a wagon as well as gray worker. So what happens is later on when you are using the pit hit, which gives you bonuses, the loading pit hit, which gives you bonuses based on the number of wagons. This particular bonus chit will count as an extra wagon, as well as you can use this grey worker on this bonus chit to activate that loading pit hit tile if you have not already upgraded it. Because after you have upgraded it, you do not need the worker anymore. This worker can only be used in this loading pit hit tile. Next, we're going to the action that you can do in a round. So in the next phase of a round is action number 1. So each player will take 1 action in turn order. All right. Then after each player will again take another action in turn order. Then after that, players can take a bonus action if they have already achieved the bonus action chit. Now there's 3 ways to achieve the bonus action chit. One of them is to flip one of the pit hit tiles over, because that will give you 8 points and also a bonus action chit. If you build your 3rd settlement, you are also awarded a bonus action chit. If you hire your 3rd engineer, you are also provided a bonus action token. Now this bonus action token, you can use it at most once per round. So if you hoard everything and at the end of the 5th round you decide to use all 3, you can't. You only can use 1. When the game ends, each of these bonus action tiles will also give you 4 points for each unused one. Right? So what are the actions available for a player to do? For this, we'll take a look at the player tableau. This is the player tableau. In front of you, you'll see a player board. All right, on it will be at the bottom left hand corner where the little houses are. Those are your settlements. Right, you have 5 of them. After you build the third one, you get a bonus action tile. After you build the fourth one, you immediately get 3 points. After you build the fifth one, you immediately get 5 points. Next to it are the fatter or the bigger size wooden cubes. These are your engineers, right? You have a bunch of small wooden cubes. Those are your miners. The bigger ones are your engineers. So there's only 3 of them. After you build the third one, the engineer, you get a bonus action tile as well. Now, if you look at your player board, you'll see that there's spaces for 6 mines. That means you can at most buy 6 mines and place them there. You see the little figures next to the mine slots. Those are if you happen to put a miner there or put a dollar coin there, that means your mine is protected from mining disasters. If you decide not to protect all your mines, all right, then when come the mining disaster time, you'll definitely need to put all your cheats in the back. I'll explain the mining disaster later. Now, you see the little arrows from the first mine on the top left hand corner. You see little arrows moving outwards to the right and below. Um, this is the quirky part of the game. When you're placing mines, you need to place it in this sequence. So when you're losing mines later due to consolidation, you need to move them backwards towards the top left hand corner mine. I'm not very sure what is the reason for this yet. I haven't really seen a big significance of this. On the bottom, at the bottom of the player tableau, you will see that there's this 2 gray workers into $1, or $2 you can get 3 gray workers. This is the market currency, so to speak. So at any time during your turn, you can change 2 cubes. Every 2 cubes you can change for $1, or you can buy 3 cubes for $2. To the top of the board, you will see the numbers 0 to 14. This is a consolidation track. This is for you to mark out your consolidation power during consolidation, and then from there, people can keep track of how much consolidation you have for each consolidation that you participate in. I'll explain this more in during consolidation. The right hand corner is the actions that you can do. You can see the little explosion looking thing. So in a game, anything that looks like this little explosion represents actions. So on your player board, these are the 5 actions you can do. At the start, you will see that the bottom 3 actions have these these tokens that you place them there. Now, these are two-sided. You need to place the one that the lighter side on at the start of the game. Later on, when players upgrade the pit head tiles, all right, they will flip these tiles over to become the red side, and that will make it more expensive. So what are the actions you can do? The first action you can see that looks like a mine. That means you can buy a mine. So you can buy the mine. Mines will appear on the board based on the round. So in the first round, this set of mines will appear. Second round, these new set of mines will appear. The third round, and so on and so forth. So how do you know when mines will appear? You can actually look at the game board itself. They have a number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 written in Roman numerals on the board. So you know when mines will appear, and this will allow you to plan ahead. So first thing, you can buy mines. How do you buy mines? When you look at a mine tile, they have a red color square. That means that's the amount of money you pay to buy the mine. The green color square will determine the number of income you get during the game. Some mines will also have special things. Usually they come, either they have no other additional benefit, or they'll represent 1 wagon, or they'll have this symbol that looks like two heads in the particular square. Now the 2 heads means that when you buy a mine, you will be able to grab a second worker cube. Just to backtrack a bit, whenever you buy a mine, you must make sure that there is a village nearby that has a gray cube. That means the mines are part of the region. So as long as there's any village that is touching the region, right, and there's a gray cube there, you can take a gray cube, put it in your area. You can use the gray cube later, and then you can buy the mine. If there's no gray cubes, right, but there is your own settlement there, and your own miners are in the settlement, you can use that miner cube from your own miner cube and then put it onto the mine area on the board to represent that you own a mine. So thematically speaking, when you want to build a mine, you need to hire the workers from villages nearby and then train them, and then they become your miners, right? If you have no more workers in the villages nearby, you can use one of your miners to work in the mine. That's the thematic sense of it. So if you have two people on the mine itself, you can use a second gray cube from the board, and then you can be able to place a second miner anywhere on your tableau. Either put it on the board or in your player tableau. All right. So what is the next thing you can do? The next action you can do is to place two people on the board and move and have two deployment points. So when you place miners on the board, you're taking your own cubes from your reserve area and put them anywhere, either on your player tableau, all right, which is like the to protect a mine, or in the pit head tiles, or onto the board, onto a settlement. Then you can have two deployment points. Deployment means you can move your cubes around. You can either move them from pithead tile to another pithead tile, from pithead tile onto the settlement, or this is a chance where you can move your miners which are on the settlements in onto train stations, and then pick up railway tiles if they have not been taken already. Railway tiles will give you benefits. For example, they give you $1, they may give you one worker, and so on and so forth. So these are benefits that you can get. In addition, there's also endgame scoring, which involves railway tiles. So that is the deploy action. You always will put in two people and then you move them around. Next, you can also pay $2 to build a settlement. So what happens is, as long as a village is clear, that means there's no more workers, gray cubes there, you can build a settlement there. Some villages will only have one slot for a settlement. It's represented by one building. Some villages will have two buildings, so you can put two buildings there. But you can only at most build one building of your building in one of your village in that one settlement in that village. Sorry. Okay, so you take one of your house wooden tokens and put it onto the board, right? In addition, by doing that, you can put 0 to 2 miners onto that particular settlement as well. Take note that when you do the deploy, each settlement can house at most 2 miners, right? You cannot put more than that. Okay, so that's paying $2. If this tile is flipped over, you need to pay $3 now. Okay. Next, you can buy a steam engine. Now, take note, steam engines are not like what when I say steam engine, you do not think of trains. All right, steam engines are just steam engines. They are there. They're engines that are there to help you to mine faster. So when you buy, you spend 1 coin, you take one of the black house tokens, which represent steam engines. You place them onto one of your mines. What that means is that during income, your mine will produce 1 more coin for you. All right, so that's steam engine. At the end game, steam engines also give you points. So if you have only one steam engine, they give you 3 points, and then second 2 steam engines will give you more points, and so forth. I think 4 steam engines will give 15 points. So that's quite a lot of points. Last action you can do during your turn is you can use 1 coin to hire engineer. Engineers, what are they used for? They are used to be placed on the pit tiles. So if you see in this picture on top, there are surrounding the player board, there are pit tiles. Right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pit tiles for you. Right, if you see this engineer icon there, that means you can take engineer and place it there. That will give you benefits. Right, so for example, some pit tiles, the engineer will give you consolation power. Some pit tiles, engineer will give you money. Right, usually give you money or points. Right, so you can hire engineers and place them there. You can at most only have 3 engineers. Take note. Okay, so that is the actions that you can do during the round. Now, one of the other things you can do as well that is not part of the actions is flip the pit head tiles. So if you look at the pit head tiles, they are two-sided. Use the side that does not have the points at the beginning. Points are in the top right hand corner. Out of the 5 pit head tiles, 1 cannot be flipped over, and that is the one that gives you the consolidation power. The rest can be flipped over. How do you flip them over? You see the top right hand corner, you'll see that they are in the red box, you see the conditions to flip them over. Some requires 2 grey workers and $2. Some requires 5 grey workers or $3. 5 grey workers plus $2 and so on and so forth. So once anytime during your turn, you can pay off this amount and flip them over. You merely score the points and you gain a benefit. So pit tiles are like technology. Once you upgraded them, they provide you with better things. And not only that, if you upgrade the right pit tile, things become more expensive. So if you upgrade the worker pit tile, now whenever anyone wants to build a settlement, they need to pay 3 coins instead of 2. So to mark this, everybody will flip that particular tile on the player board to the red side to remind everyone that now you need to take $3 to do so. So players, after they've done the second action, in turn order, the phase marker will go to the third, the next phase, which is the bonus action. So players who have the bonus action sheet can now, in turn order, trade it in to do an extra action. They can do any of the actions they've done previously, all right? And so this is the time where you can use the bonus action sheet. Remember again, you can only use one per round, right? And so if you happen to get all three, you make sure to be able, if you want to use them, make sure to be able to use them in the third, fourth, and fifth round. If you don't use them, at the end of the game, you'll get 4 points each. Next is the mining disaster. So how does a mining disaster work? You look at the bottom right hand corner of the main game board. Now you see that there's this 5 flame-like looking tokens. So these represent the mining disaster tokens. All right. First, you at the beginning of the game, you randomly shuffle them and place them all out like that. You will note that on top of the mining disaster track, there's also little symbols. It means that the first round you cannot buy Steam Engine. On the third, fourth, and fifth round, there's consolidation. So I'm not sure why they put it here instead of right on top, but I guess in a way it helps to keep track of how many rounds there are left in the game. So before the mining disaster happens, each player will look at the number of mines they have and decide how many they can protect. So during the previous actions, if they already place a miner at the right hand corner of a particular mine, they would have protected it already. Mines that now have a coin at the right hand corner, players can now pay 1 coin to protect them. So after each player has determined how many mines they're protecting, each mine they cannot protect, they'll take one of their flatter round disc and put it into a bag provided by the game, up to a maximum of 3. So for example, if you have 6 mines and you cannot protect all them, you still only put 3 in, right? Each player will do that, and into the bag will go 3 black discs as well, and 1 beige disc. Now, the players will flip up, open the first or the mining disaster tile that represents that round, right, and see what it does. So what are the different mining disasters in the game? Some will give you some will cause the coal trust to buy 1 extra mine. I'll explain that later. Some will cause the coal trust to immediately buy the most expensive mine out there. There's one special mining disaster tile that is placed on the left hand side. Okay, this will mean that whenever in subsequent rounds, whenever you draw out the beige disc, each player, regardless of whether you've protected all your mines or not, must either lose 2 coins or lose 2 points. Sorry, lose 1 coin or lose 2 points. All right. The last mining disaster tile shows the coal trust will add 1 coin, right? So what does all this mean actually, right? So when you are doing the mining disaster, there will be 3 discs will be drawn out from the back, right? You can randomly choose one player, you draw out 3 discs from the back. If a black disc is drawn, take a look at the top right hand corner. This is the coal trust consolidation power, right? What it means is that when during consolidation phase, the coal trust will have this amount of money to represent their consolidation power. If you draw out the black tile, the coal trust will lose 1 of the coins. If you happen to open the mining disaster tile that shows the coal trust with the arrow pointing to the coin, you must immediately add 1 coin to the coal trust consolidation power track, which is on the left hand side of the board, or the game board. If you draw out your own player disc, that player must now take a cube, their own mining cube from their own supply and put it onto the area vacated by the mining disaster tile and lose the points accordingly. So for the first 3 rounds, each player will lose if at least one of this is drawn from the back, they'll lose at most 2 points. Subsequently, in the 4th and 5th round, if this happens, they'll lose 3 points instead of 2 points. So no matter how many discs you draw out that is of that particular player's color, right, you will put the number of cubes there, but you only lose the points once in that particular mining disaster round. right? So in this way, the player who's drawing the disc out from the back will draw 3 discs and then resolve them accordingly. Right, then after that you'll perform whatever action the mining disaster tile requires you to. Now if it states that the coal trust buys the most expensive mine immediately, right? You take a look at the remaining mines that are left on the play area, right? It'll buy the highest number. So how does it buy? You just need to take a black house token, which is the steam engine, and then place it onto the mine on the board. So that will represent that the coal trust has already bought that mine. Okay, so once everyone has resolved this mining disaster, we move on to the next phase in this round. Next, the coal trust will now buy a mine. Now, depending on the power, the number of mining disaster tiles that have been reviewed, right? The coal trust will buy at least 1 mine and at most 3 mines, right? The coal trust will always buy the smallest number mines. As in, if you look at a mine, there are numbers indicating the mine. Not only will it allow you to easily find the mine on the board, it also will be determined when the coal trust will buy the mines, right? So whenever you review one of these mining disaster tiles that shows the coal trust will buy extra mine, which means the coal trust will now buy more mines, all right? So up to a maximum of 3 per round. Okay, at the start, usually you'll just buy 1, but if the mining disaster tile has reviewed 1 more, you'll buy 2 then for that particular round. Right, so to represent this, similar to what I mentioned just now, you take one of the steam engine black color house tokens and place it onto the mine on the board. This represents that coal trust has bought that mine. Right, and that will be the end of the coal trust buying phase. Next will be the mine income phase. So you look at your player board, look at all the mines, look at the green square of each mine. That will give you 1 or 2 income. Usually it's 1 or 2 income. Get a number of coins. If you have a steam engine, which is the black color house wooden token placed on your mine, you get extra coin for each black steam engine placed on the mine. Now each mine can only have 1 steam engine, so effectively it will give you just that 1 more income. All right. That is the end of that mine income phase. Next, we go to the board scoring phase. For each mine stack in a particular region, right? You check how many mines have been bought for each mine stack, right? Each player who has a mine in that area, in that particular stack, will score that many points. So, for example, in a stack where there's 3 mines bought, and it's owned by 2 different players, all right? Those 2 players will earn 3 points each. So regardless of how many mines you may own in the particular mine stack, right, you still only score it 1 time. Now, if there's any of your own settlements adjacent to the mine stack that was being scored, you score 1 point again for each of the settlements that's adjacent to that stack. So in this way, you go through the entire board, scoring points for everyone. Now, after this will be consolidation. So what happens in consolidation? This is where all the small mines will become 1 big mine, right? And this is where sometimes the coal trust will also step in as well. So how do you do consolidation? In rounds 3, 4, and 5, consolidation will happen. Rounds 1 and 2, just skip this phase, right? In round 3, there's a stack of mines with a different backing, right? Shuffle those, randomly draw the first one, and resolve that consolidation mine. So what happens is everybody who bought a mine in that particular region will now need to see how much of their consolidation power they have. How do they determine that? They'll look at the mine they bought, look at the buying, how much they spent to buy the mine. That will count as their consolidation power. In addition, they'll look at their player tableau, right? Because one of the pit hit tiles will give you more consolidation power benefits. If you have the bonus chit right at the beginning that gives you 2 consolidation benefits, you also get that. You also add that as well to your player board. If you've gotten railway tokens that give you consolidation chits, you can also use them to increase your consolidation power. After all players have done so, you check who has the highest consolidation power. Now, if there's any unbought mines, or if the coal trust has bought a mine there, they will also participate in this consolidation. What happens is you see how much consolidation power the coal trust have, which you look at the number of coins on the top left hand corner, right? You add As well, if they bought a mine, you also add the cost of the mine, or if they did not buy the mine, you also add the cost of the mine to the consolidation power. If the players' consolidation power do not beat the Cold Trust one, then whoever has the highest number mine in that mine stack will need to outbid the Cold Trust or pass. Alright, so in this way, players will keep outbidding each other by increasing their consolidation power using money. Right, they keep doing so until one person is left behind, has won the bid. Right, that person who has won the bid must now pay off all the coins, all the money they spent, all the tokens that they used. Right, the people who did not win the bid can take back everything. So what happens after you consolidate? Now, every player who lost the bid, but who still has a mine, must now return the mine back, discard the mine. Right? What that means is that they'll take the mine from the player board and throw it away, discard it away. If there were any steam engines attached to the particular mine, they must now give the steam engine to the player who has won the consolidation. The player who has also won a consolidation will also do the same, discard the mine away. Now, players who discarded the mine away, except for the person who won the consolidation, will get 2 points for each of the mines that they lost. The player who consolidated will now take the new consolidated mine, the bigger one, the tile, and place it onto the board. Any of the mines that they themselves has lost will also be discarded out of the game, but they will not score 2 points for these mines that they lost. If there were any Cold Trust mines, right, the steam engines that were placed onto the board to represent that the Cold Trust has bought these mines will also be given to the player who won a consolidation. So in this way, if the player has too many steam engines, they'll just place them to the side. All these steam engines will count as points around the game. So that could also be a lot of points. In addition, the player who won the consolidated mine will also score a number of points, which is listed on the bottom left-hand corner of the mine tile. Right. So again, in summary, what happens in consolidation? All the small mines will become a big mine. All small mines will be lost. If you did not win the consolidation, you'll get 2 points for each small mine you lost. If you won the consolidation, you will still need to discard the small mine that you lost. You get a bigger mine instead. You score points. You get to keep all the steam engines available. If you lose to the Cold Trust, the Cold Trust will then be the one that has won the consolidated mine. You will take a steam engine and place it onto the mine on the board to represent that the Cold Trust has won that mine. This consolidated mine works just like a normal mine, in the sense that when you do the board scoring, you'll still score you 1 point, right? But the 5 or more than 1 point that you score when you first consolidate will just score that once only. You'll never keep scoring again and again. So that's consolidation, and that's where the bulk of the points will come from as well. So players need to take note of this. Finally, you do player tableau scoring, which means that all your pit hit tiles now, wherever you have workers on it, they'll score you either points or money. Right? So you go through all your pit hit tiles, you get points or money. And that will be the end of 1 round. You need to do this for 5 rounds, and there will be some more endgame scoring. If you complete the yellow line, all right, you get 12 victory points. If you complete the red line, you get 10 points. If you complete the brown line, you get 4 points. If you complete the green line, you get 4 points. For 3 players, it's slightly different. Yellow line 8, red line 8, brown line 4. Green line is not played in a 3-player game. You will also score points for steam engines. All right, for 1 steam engine 2 points, 2 steam engine 5 points, 3 steam engine 8 points, 4 steam engine 12, 5 steam engines 17, 6 steam engines 23 points. You also get 1 point for every 2 coins that you have at the end of the game. Right? Each of your miners that are on a railway space, you also will get 1 point for each of your miner on the railway space. All right. So you need to be aware, because if you have one miner on each of the railway track of a railway station of the yellow line, you can potentially score 19 points, which is quite a lot of points. Finally, for each extra action marker that you did not use, you get 4 points. And then you count points. Whoever has the most points will be the winner. If there's a tie, the player with the most steam engine wins. And so that's the end of the rules explanation for Kohle and Kolonie. Now, in a nutshell, basically you need to take note that this is a 5-round game. Each round players can do at least 2 actions. They can do more. They do at least 3, because they have the bonus. Usually they do at least 2. They could do 1 more extra if they want to. Players basically are trying to buy mines to earn income. Using the money they earn income from, they can use it to get more points or make more strategic moves to place more workers on the board, allow them to buy more points, prepare themselves for consolidation, because consolidation will give you quite a lot of points, as well as steam engines, which will also earn more points at the end. And there's also many tracks to victory. You can go by the wagon track, which will give you points every round, depending on the pithead tile. You can also go by a railway track. You can also by a mine consolidation track, and so on and so forth. So there's many. So far, I can see there's many paths to victory. Let's go to my final thoughts. So that was the rules explanation for Kohle and Kolonie. Now, I've only played this, I think about two to three times, right? But by the time you watch this video, probably I'll have played the third time already. It is one of the must-have for Eurogamers, I think from last year, and I've always been trying to get a copy or trying to find someone with a copy so I can try it. Thomas Spitzer's previous release, Rufus Shard, was also quite well received. Unfortunately, the rules was even more horrible than this one. So, but people have also been saying that Kohle and Kolonie seems to be a better game. I haven't tried Rufus Shard yet, so hopefully I'll get a chance to try that and I can make a comparison later on. But Kohle and Kolonie, it is a very fun game to play for me. Thematically, it does make surprising thematic sense for your miners, because whenever you build a mine, you definitely need to get villagers from the people from nearby village, which are the grey cubes, are like generic workers, and then you train them and become your miners. So you replace one of them with your own colored cubes and become your mine. So you put them into the mine to work. Then if there's mining disasters, you are required to lose one of your own cube, which is a miner, to the mining disaster track, and you also get penalized for mining disasters. And then when consolidation happens, you will need to fight for you bid money and fight for the right to win the large mine when it consolidates. So all these make a lot of thematic sense to me. Surprisingly, there are some disconnects here and there. For example, why do I put all the mines together in one area? Why is there the funny mine placement sequence on your own tableau? The player boards, there are quite a lot of player boards that you need to manage in front of you. But I guess that's the best way they could think of to manage it, because you do need to flip the pit head tiles the other side if you improve them and so on and so forth. I guess they could have provided separate technology board where all players can put markers there to keep track of who have upgraded and so on and so forth. But well, I wouldn't know until I interview Thomas Spitzer. The game itself, as mentioned at the start of the video, it is quite unbear to get through, but I would recommend you to play the first round once and you go through each of the phases in a round, explain to people what it does and so on and so forth, so that after they get a feel of it, and maybe run through one time of a consolidation so people get a feel of what they need to focus on, how the general gist works, and then you tell the players the end game, what is end game scoring, what can they hope to achieve if they want to get more points, and then that will help them to solidify the rules of the game, and they can restart the game and you can play it properly. That is what we found out after we played our first game. We spent about 30 minutes going through the rules, and it took quite a bit of time to get through rules, but when we played the first round, everything clicked into place for most of us. So if you are a Euro gamer like me, and you do like what you see, because it's not your typical pick up and deliver, it is more like you're trying to own mines, and from the mines get certain benefits, upgrade your own technology. There's a lot of interaction in this Euro game, because when you flip your pit heads, you affect other players, affect yourself, affect other players as well. When you go for the mines, when you buy mines, you might buy something that other players want, or when you buy the mine, if you're part of that the number of mines that may consolidate into a large mine, you also interact with other players, because whatever you bid may affect them as well when you try to go for the consolidation bid. So quite a lot of interaction, very well, I would say it's a heavyweight Euro. Alright, and this is Kohle and Kolonie. I heartily recommend it. Do give it a go if you have a chance to. Thank you for watching.